While anxious attachment often feels like a relationship disadvantage, particularly when paired with avoidant partners, those with anxious attachment styles actually possess several fundamental advantages in building healthy relationships and achieving lasting love. These advantages stem from their natural orientation toward connection, emotional expression, and relationship investment, qualities that, when properly channeled, create the foundation for deep, satisfying partnerships. Emotional awareness and expression abilities. Anxious partners possess an inherent emotional intelligence that gives them significant advantages in relationship building. Their sensitivity to emotional nuances, both in themselves and others, creates opportunities for deep understanding and connection that avoidant partners often struggle to access. This emotional awareness allows them to recognize relationship needs, identify problems early, and articulate feelings in ways that foster intimacy. Unlike avoidant partners who often struggle to identify or express emotions, anxious individuals typically have well-developed emotional vocabularies and the ability to communicate complex feelings. This skill becomes invaluable in building healthy relationships because emotional communication forms the foundation of intimate connection. Their comfort with emotional expression allows them to create the vulnerable conversations that build genuine intimacy. This emotional fluency also enables anxious partners to provide the kind of emotional support that strengthens relationships. They can offer empathy, understanding, and emotional validation because they're comfortable operating in emotional territory. Their ability to sit with difficult feelings, both their own and their partners, creates safety for emotional exploration and growth within relationships. Most importantly, their emotional awareness gives them the capacity to recognize when relationships aren't meeting their needs and to articulate what changes would improve their satisfaction. While this awareness can create anxiety in unhealthy relationships, it becomes a powerful tool for building fulfilling partnerships when directed toward compatible partners. Natural capacity for intimacy and vulnerability. Anxious partners possess an innate understanding that intimacy requires vulnerability, emotional risk-taking, and consistent emotional investment. This understanding, while sometimes creating anxiety in incompatible relationships, represents a fundamental advantage in building lasting love. They intuitively know that surface-level connections won't satisfy their deeper needs for partnership and are willing to do the emotional work necessary for genuine intimacy. This capacity for vulnerability allows anxious partners to create the kind of emotional depth that transforms casual relationships into meaningful partnerships. They're willing to share fears, hopes, dreams, and insecurities in ways that invite their partners into deeper connection. This emotional courage often inspires reciprocal vulnerability in partners who are capable of intimacy. Their natural orientation toward intimacy also means they're typically willing to work through relationship challenges rather than avoiding them. While avoidant partners often retreat when relationships become difficult, anxious partners tend to lean into problems with the understanding that working through challenges strengthens bonds. This commitment to relationship work is essential for long-term partnership success. Additionally, anxious partners often have realistic expectations about the emotional investment required for healthy relationships. They understand that love requires ongoing effort, attention, and emotional presence. This understanding prepares them for the actual work of partnership, rather than expecting relationships to function without emotional investment. Motivation for relationship growth and improvement. The anxiety that characterizes anxious attachment often translates into powerful motivation for personal and relationship growth. Anxious partners typically recognize that their relationship patterns aren't serving them and are motivated to understand and change these dynamics. This growth orientation gives them significant advantages over partners who are content with surface-level connections. This motivation often leads anxious partners to seek therapy, read relationship books, attend workshops, and invest in personal development work that improves their relationship skills. Their willingness to examine their own patterns and work on personal growth creates ongoing improvements in their capacity for healthy partnership. This self-improvement orientation benefits not only them, but also their relationships. Their growth motivation also extends to their relationships themselves. Anxious partners are typically willing to have difficult conversations, address problems directly, and invest energy in improving relationship dynamics. They understand that relationships require ongoing attention and are willing to provide that investment rather than expecting partnerships to maintain themselves. Most importantly, their motivation for growth means they're often willing to leave relationships that aren't serving them once they develop enough self-awareness and emotional strength. While this can initially feel frightening, the ability to choose better relationships rather than settling for inadequate ones is a crucial advantage in building lasting love. Ability to create emotional safety for others. Anxious partners often excel at creating emotional safety for others because they understand the importance of feeling secure and valued in relationships. Their sensitivity to emotional needs allows them to provide the kind of consistent emotional presence that helps partners feel safe to be vulnerable and authentic. This ability to create safety is fundamental to building healthy relationships. Their emotional responsiveness and attunement often make partners feel heard, understood, and valued. They notice emotional shifts, respond to subtle cues, and provide comfort during difficult times. This emotional availability creates the kind of secure base that allows relationships to flourish and partners to grow individually and together. Anxious partners also tend to be excellent emotional mirrors, helping their partners understand and process their own feelings. Their emotional intelligence allows them to reflect back what they're observing in ways that promote self-awareness and emotional growth in their partners. This mirroring capacity is particularly valuable for partners who struggle with emotional awareness. Their natural empathy and compassion also create environments where partners feel accepted rather than judged. Anxious partners often understand struggle and imperfection intimately, which allows them to offer grace and understanding when their partners face challenges. This acceptance creates the psychological safety necessary for authentic relationship connection. Willingness to invest deeply in relationships. While anxious partners' tendency toward deep investment can become problematic in incompatible relationships, this same quality represents a significant advantage when directed towards suitable partners. Their willingness to prioritize relationships, invest emotional energy, and commit to long-term partnership goals creates the foundation for lasting love that many other attachment styles struggle to establish. This investment capacity means anxious partners are typically willing to make the sacrifices and compromises that healthy relationships require. They understand that partnership involves considering another person's needs and are generally willing to adapt their lives to accommodate relationship requirements. This flexibility and commitment orientation supports long-term relationship stability. Their investment tendency also means they're usually committed to working through relationship challenges rather than abandoning partnerships when difficulties arise. While this can become problematic with incompatible partners, it becomes a significant strength with partners who are similarly committed to relationship success. Their persistence and dedication often help relationships survive temporary difficulties. Most importantly, their deep investment capacity allows them to experience the profound satisfaction that comes from truly committed partnership. While surface-level relationships might feel safer or easier, anxious partners have the capacity to experience the deep fulfillment that comes from mutual emotional investment and long-term commitment. Superior conflict resolution potential. Although anxious partners may initially struggle with conflict due to their sensitivity to relationship threats, they actually possess superior potential for healthy conflict resolution. Their emotional awareness allows them to identify issues early. Their communication skills help them articulate problems clearly, and their relationship investment motivates them to work towards solutions rather than avoiding difficulties. Their emotional intelligence helps them understand not just their own needs, but also their partner's perspective during conflicts. This ability to see multiple sides of issues, combined with their motivation to preserve relationships, often leads them to seek win-win solutions rather than trying to dominate or withdraw from conflicts. This collaborative approach to problem solving is essential for long-term relationship success. Anxious partners also tend to be willing to take responsibility for their contributions to relationship problems. Their self-awareness and growth orientation help them recognize their own patterns and work to change behaviors that aren't serving their relationships. This accountability, combined with their willingness to address issues directly, creates opportunities for genuine resolution and relationship improvement. Their emotional expressiveness also means that issues are less likely to build up over time into major explosions. While their sensitivity might create more frequent, smaller conflicts, this actually serves relationships better than the pattern of avoidance followed by major blow-ups that characterizes many other attachment styles. Regular emotional processing prevents the accumulation of resentment and unresolved issues. Intuitive understanding of relationship needs. Anxious partners often possess an intuitive understanding of what healthy relationships require that gives them significant advantages in building lasting partnerships. Their own relationship needs for consistency, emotional availability, and genuine connection align closely with what actually creates relationship satisfaction and stability for most people. This intuitive understanding helps them recognize compatible partners more quickly than those who are content with surface-level connections. They can sense when someone has the capacity for the kind of emotional partnership they're seeking and when someone is likely to disappoint their relationship needs. This discernment, while sometimes creating anxiety, ultimately helps them make better partner choices. Their understanding of relationship needs also helps them communicate expectations clearly and set appropriate boundaries. They typically know what they require from partnerships and can articulate these needs to potential partners. This clarity helps prevent mismatched relationships and creates opportunities for genuine compatibility assessment. Most importantly, their relationship needs orientation helps them create the kind of partnerships that actually satisfy both partners over time. While they might initially attract partners who are intrigued by their emotional depth, they ultimately build relationships with people who can meet their needs for genuine intimacy and connection. Capacity for relationship learning and adaptation. Anxious partners typically possess strong capacity for relationship learning that gives them significant advantages in building successful partnerships over time. Their motivation to understand relationship dynamics, combined with their emotional awareness, creates ongoing opportunities for skill development and relationship improvement. Their willingness to examine their own patterns means they can identify and change behaviors that aren't serving their relationships. This self-reflection capacity, while sometimes creating excessive self-criticism, ultimately allows for genuine personal growth that improves their relationship experiences. They can learn from relationship mistakes and apply these lessons to future partnerships. Their emotional sensitivity also makes them excellent at reading relationship feedback and adjusting their approach accordingly. They can sense when their behavior is creating positive or negative responses in their partners and modify their actions to improve relationship dynamics. This responsiveness and adaptability supports ongoing relationship health. Additionally, their investment in relationship success motivates them to continue learning and growing throughout their partnerships. They don't expect to master relationship skills immediately, but are willing to continue developing their capacity for healthy partnership throughout their lives. This growth orientation creates relationships that improve over time rather than stagnating. The advantage of knowing what you want. Perhaps the greatest advantage anxious partners possess is their clear understanding of what they want from relationships. While avoidant partners often struggle to identify their relationship needs or settle for minimal emotional connection, anxious partners typically have well-developed visions of the kind of partnership they're seeking. This clarity becomes a powerful tool for building satisfying relationships. This clarity helps them make better partner choices by providing clear criteria for compatibility assessment. They can evaluate potential partners based on their capacity to meet genuine relationship needs rather than settling for superficial attraction or convenience. This discernment ultimately leads to more satisfying partnership choices. Their clear relationship vision also helps them communicate expectations and requirements to partners. Instead of hoping that partners will intuitively understand their needs, they can articulate what they're seeking in ways that allow for honest compatibility assessment. This communication prevents mismatched relationships and creates opportunities for genuine partnership building. Most importantly, their clarity about relationship desires motivates them to continue seeking until they find partnerships that truly satisfy their needs. While this might mean experiencing more relationship disappointment in the short term, it ultimately leads to the kind of fulfilling partnerships that justify their emotional investment and vulnerability. Transforming anxiety into relationship strength. The key to leveraging these advantages lies in transforming anxious energy into relationship strength rather than allowing it to create desperation or codependency. This transformation requires developing emotional regulation skills that allow for expressing needs without overwhelming partners, setting boundaries that protect against incompatible partners, and maintaining self-worth that doesn't depend on relationship validation. When anxious partners learn to channel their emotional awareness into healthy communication, their sensitivity into empathy rather than reactivity, and their investment capacity into appropriate relationships, they become incredibly attractive and satisfying partners. Their natural orientation toward intimacy and connection, combined with developed emotional skills, creates the kind of partnership that most people ultimately seek. This transformation also requires learning to recognize and choose partners who can reciprocate their emotional investment and meet their relationship needs. Instead of trying to convert avoidant partners or settling for inadequate emotional connection, they can use their relationship awareness to identify truly compatible partnerships. The ultimate advantage anxious partners possess is their capacity to create and experience the kind of deep, satisfying love that justifies all the emotional investment and vulnerability that healthy relationships require. While their journey might involve more emotional intensity and learning, their destination, genuine intimate partnership, represents what most people ultimately want from their love lives. Their emotional courage and relationship commitment, when properly directed, create the foundation for the lasting love that makes all the emotional work worthwhile.